All right, aloha. So this video is for chapter 7 for IT 280, and we're going to talk about some key terms for the chapter. This chapter is a little bit different. We're not talking about specifically networking terms, but we're talking now about security. And it's in the it's framed in a networking context in the textbook, but really a lot of these terms apply just to security, cybersecurity overall. So attack vectors and exploits, those are, they're not interchangeable, but those are commonly linked, an attack vector and an exploit. You should understand what those terms mean and what they are. Social engineering, perhaps one of the more commonly used tactics for a number of cybersecurity attacks. We see it on campus all the time as a type of phishing, for instance, as a type of a social engineering attack. And then other phishing types, you should be aware of those as well, not just the general term phishing, but some more specific types of phishing attacks that exist. Other forms of malware, such as viruses or Trojans or worms, you should be aware of those and what the differences are between those three, viruses, Trojans, and worms. Additionally, other types of attacks, such as a DOS or a DDoS, or a brute force attack for password cracking, should be aware of those. Also then just the general terms, I used it just a little bit ago, but malware or spyware, you should understand what that is, what are characteristics of malware and spyware, and then from a good IT practice or perspective, or CS, you should also familiarize yourself with good techniques and resources to help get rid of malware and spyware from your computers or devices. It used to just be computers, but now even your mobile devices, your iPhone, your iOS, your Androids, your tablets, they can also be infected with malware and spyware. So that's another good one. And then lastly, firewall and DMZ, demilitarized zone. You should be aware of what those terms are and what they're used for, and as well as some common firewall providers. In this class, we've been looking pretty much just at the SOHO, the small office, home office type equipment. But it would be good to identify and recognize what some of the other larger commercial or enterprise companies are for their firewall solutions. So that's chapter 7 key terms. Again, this chapter is all about the cybersecurity aspect of it, not limited to networking, but certainly that's the context in which we are approaching that topic for this week. Or rather for this chapter. Anyway, I hope you're having a great time, and aloha.